Hi there, Guns Podcast fans. It's your host, Brent Wheat, and today we're in our studio, but we're not doing a podcast. We're doing something completely different. We're doing a taste test. We are going to test the Bridgford Ready-to-Eat Sandwiches. Well, actually, this is pizza, and this is French toast. So I ran across these the other day at a big box store, and these are actually food that was developed for the United States military, goes in their legendary MREs and actually the First Strike Rations. And they're basically a sandwich you can keep on the shelf for 3 years or more and eat it cold. You can heat it up, but it's basically something you can grab and go literally on the march and get some nutrition in your body to keep you going. And when you're camping, fishing, or you're spending a day on the range, it's really convenient to grab one of these things and just stick it in your pack and not have to worry about if you need the num-nums, if you get hangry. So I thought today we'll do a taste test. I've developed a scientific testing criteria so we can all experience what I hope is the goodness here together. Well, here we are in my beautiful dining room, and I'm joined by somebody who's never been on the podcast, my brother, Chad. He has volunteered to be a stunt stomach for our taste test today. So, okay, here comes the big moment. We're going to open the pepperoni pizza with cheese and sauce.
I don't normally like pizza anyway.
Well, now he tells me. Great. So, okay, here we go. Easy to open. Now the all-important smell. It smells like day-old pizza.
Meh.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember back in college?
Yeah,
You'd wake up in the morning and there'd be some pizza, and of course you'd eat it.
But there's no cardboardy smell, but yeah.
This is true. Okay, well, here we go. We're going to pull it out. And there it is. It's kind of a deep dish piece. The cheese is interesting. It's frozen in time. The pepperoni's the kind I like, the crumbled up pepperoni. Mm-hmm. And the sauce is congealed. So, again, I don't expect this to be a Lou Malnati's from Chicago, but let's try it. Okay, I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, it cuts really easy. And I have a plate for Chad. So, okay, before we sample it, your 5 senses, what do you think?
Well, the smell, it's passable.
It resembles pizza, right?
I got to say, it looks horrifying.
It does? Or doesn't?
It does look horrifying.
Okay.
Cheese and
I was trying not to say that, but okay, I wouldn't argue with you.
It feels nice and dense and thick.
Yeah.
I can't hear it. So,
okay, well, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Well, of all the pizza in the world, this is one of them, I guess.
You remember in grade school?
I loved the grade school pizza.
Well, you remember how they use mostly ketchup as the pizza sauce?
Yes, you're right. It tastes very ketchupy. It's
thick.
Very thick. The shelf-stable dough is certainly shelf-stable.
It's not dry.
No, it's not. Surprisingly not. Don't really taste the cheese.
No, I taste the pepperoni and the dough more than anything.
Yeah, and the ketchup.
And the sauce.
Yeah.
It's not horrible.
Yeah. If I was really hungry and, it was the end of a long day and I needed something to eat, this would be okay.
It's better than a handful of granola.
Yeah, it definitely is that. I think we do have one setting out in the MRE heater. I'm guessing this might be a lot better warmed up.
Yeah, I would think.
But it's certainly edible. and I wouldn't serve it to guests unless you wanted some interesting comments. But I guess that's my overall rating right now is it's acceptable. Wouldn't you say?
I'd agree with that.
I wouldn't say that's glowing recommendation, but again, keeping in mind what this is really for, it's the end of a long day and you're just beat and you don't have the equipment or energy to build a big fire and a nice kettle of fried fish and all that.
Right.
This would work.
Yeah, it doesn't taste bad. It tastes better than it presents.
Yeah, I will agree with that. You've already finished yours.
Yeah.
Wow. You must like it better than you let on.
Well, it grew on me. The first initial taste was sort of suspect, but it got better.
Yeah. So would I buy it again? I'm not sure. I think the big test, one thing I will notice, seems like the grease kind of hangs around.
I don't notice it so much.
Really?
But I did not get any like cheese flavor
No.
whatsoever.
Yeah, the cheese, I think it's mainly there for appearance. So, okay, well, I'm going to down this last bite, and then we'll shut the camera off and see if we've coaxed our MRE heater to life. It was being a little recalcitrant, but I've got high hopes. I think this would be decent warmed up. So we'll be right back and see how that goes. Okay, we're back. I've got straight out of the hot water the pepperoni pizza with cheese and sauce. I couldn't think of the name there. Anyway, it's not as hot as I thought it was going to be.
And if all else fails,
Oxygen
we can
absorber.
eat this do not eat thing.
Okay, here we go.
Now,
Heated pizza.
is this something you could put some foil on a camp stove and
Yeah,
heat it up?
not much change in smell. Better, worse, different. I don't think it's any different.
No, it's just the same, really.
Yeah. It's really not as warm as I'd hoped it was going to be. This piece is actually a little bit visually more appealing,
Yeah.
would you say? Okay. There's your plate. Here we go. I drop some. Say something.
I taste the sausage more, or the pepperoni more,
That's true.
with it being heated.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's
very much
not-
so.
I mean, it's more pleasing because it's warm,
Mm-hmm.
but the taste is about the same, really.
Yeah. This piece is significantly better than the first one I had, I thought.
I agree.
I think the heat certainly makes a difference. There's more pepperoni. There's still no cheese there.
No,
It's faux cheese, I think.
the warmth makes the crust more palatable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like pizza crust.
Yeah.
That's approaching pizza.
I've had worse pizza.
Yeah. Overall, it resembles pizza. It's
Yeah.
not the worst. I would say it's not the worst pizza I've ever had. I've had some nasty pizza.
There's a little bit of tangy, spicy aftertaste.
Yeah, that resembles pizza.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'll probably buy more of these with the understanding. I think heating makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So I was telling him we're going to be climbing a mountain here in a couple of months, and I'll probably take that so I can surprise my friends and go, "We're having pizza for lunch," and put on the dog a little bit.
I wouldn't let them look at it first, though.
Yeah. So we're back with the filled French toast, and I've eaten a number of MRE breads and sweets, and it's pretty hard to mess that up. So I've got reasonable expectations for this. Again, it's not a fine French pastry.
I did want to mention the calories on the pizza.
Yes.
270. So it's pretty dense with carbohydrates. What this one say?
It's even more, 360. So
Probably chock full of sugar.
chock full of sugar. But again, if you're eating these, you're out being active and you need the carbs and fats and all that.
And sugar makes everything taste better.
Exactly. So here we go. Filled French toast. A nice maple vanilla smell.
A lot of maple. A little buttery smell too.
Yeah. So let's cut this up. It's okay. It's a little harder to cut than what I thought. So if you can see the inside there's a nice filling. So, boy, it's really mapley.
Yeah, it is.
It smells like French toast with maple syrup.
It's almost like a maple candle.
Yeah. So here goes. If you need your sugar or maple fix while you're in the wild, this will do it.
A little bit dry.
A little bit.
And the sugar makes it more dry, I think, the mouthfeel. So I'm glad I got water.
I'm impressed.
It's
Again,
tasty, actually.
Yeah. The texture, like you said, it's a little dry, but it's an MRE, so it's going to be.
Right.
But no, overall, I think I'll definitely get a few of these. I could definitely see them, out at the range. You're getting hangry and you need something to eat, especially a sugar bomb.
Yeah.
Or I can imagine this making a nice cup of coffee with my jet boil out on the trail. And
Those would be great with coffee.
Exactly. It would be very civilized. So
the filling has got more of a cinnamony. I didn't smell the cinnamon, but the flavor profile has cinnamon, maple sugar, maybe even a little vanilla.
You could serve this to friends and not tell them what it was, and I don't think they'd know the difference. One of them would probably say, "What bakery did you get this from?" Well, it's Bridgeford Bakery.
I've had much worse nutrition bars in my life. This one actually is higher up on the scale.
Yep. Well, I think we got a winner here.
Yeah.
And morale factor, we both gave it a 5. So
it would not trade it to anybody at the campsite.
Exactly. And like you said, a cup of coffee out in the wilderness is wonderful. And this and a cup of coffee out in the wilderness would be sublime.
Especially a late night snack. You're getting ready to crash.
Yeah. Get those carbs so you can stay warm in the sleeping bag. So we're definitely going to go buy up their entire supply of the filled French toast. So I hope you've enjoyed our little review here of the pizza. I keep forgetting the name. It's a big long thing. It's pizza with cheese and sauce or something.
Pepperoni pizza with cheese and sauce.
Okay.
Mark 2.
It is the Mark 1 pizza. We've actually eaten tactical pizza now, so we can say that. Anyway, your mileage may vary, like I always say, but both of these are okay.
Yeah. I mean, if that was our meal after a day of hiking, I'd be satisfied.
It'd be all right. Yeah. So, well, my brother Chad Wheat, I appreciate you stopping by as a stunt stomach. And
I've been called worse.
This is true. So we've eaten our pizza and our French toast, and now I think it's time to adjourn to the drawing room for beverages. So
yes.
Anyway, on behalf of Guns Podcast US and gunsmagazine.com, I'm your host of Guns Podcast US, Brent Wheat, and we thanks you for joining us. And it's time to get out there and get shooting.